Hello and welcome. It is Monday and it is indeed the 6 o'clock club. But as usual, uh, we are not live at the moment. This is a pre record, but just to clarify, that it is today that I'm pre recording it. It is the 17th of April, Monday. So I can't just keep using this one in and out. It has to be new ones every time. Um, we're going to do what we normally do on a Monday. We're going to cover what we did last weekend, the weekend just gone, and then we are going to chat about this coming week at Twisted Narrative as well. So, the weekend just gone, I had a blast. We unfortunately didn't run Collateral Damage on Friday night due to scheduling clashes. Some people couldn't make it, and we decided to postpone it. We did, though, have an amazing chat with Michael, an extended 6 o'clock club that went from 6 till just after 7, I believe. You can check that up on Catch Up Now. We chatted about different settings, how you can make different settings in your game feel different rather than and just have a different name. We talked about all other things as well. We talked about my poor cat Willow and their miraculous recovery. So feel free to check that out. 6 o'clock club last Friday. Then we came to Saturday, and Saturday was super busy for me. I ran 4 games in total. We can call the games up here that we ran on this schedule. We first of all had Curse of Strad. This had Josh, Ian, Matt, Pete, and Ryan, and they succumbed to a trap. I don't want to say anything because it was the trap as written in the campaign book, so no spoilers there. But it could have been a total party wipe, but one of the characters managed to survive the trap and with quick thinking and a well-timed spell saved the day. They then worked their way through Castle Ravenloft a touch more, and we ended the game on the cliffhanger of them finally confronting Count Strad himself. And it's going to be interesting. I think next session will be the final session, one way or the other. Then we moved rapidly on to Tomb of Annihilation, and we had Casper, Gordon, Marcus, and Dave. This was most definitely in the end game, and they battled against the big bad, only to have the real big bad arrive once they defeated it. And again, no spoilers there, but it was some excellent play from them, some very clever use of their abilities and spells to battle through the day. It was close, 1 or 2 points, but they did manage to succeed. We're going to do an epilogue next session, and then we don't know where or what we're going to do after that game. It might be a brand new campaign. It might be a different system. Who knows? So quite excited once the epilogue is over what we will be doing next as well. It's been a fantastic campaign to run. It is a little bit of a Marmite campaign. The tomb is quite a large dungeon, not quite a mega dungeon, but a big dungeon, which means that if you don't like those dungeon crawls, it's perhaps the latter part of the adventure is not for you. But it does a dungeon crawl very, very well. So I very much enjoyed it. And then we moved on to the Diplomates, which again is a 5th edition critical role game set in Exandria. And we had Ben, Charlotte, Mel, Doug, and Nathan in that game. It was great fun. They tooted by accident on a Horn of Valhalla, a very powerful magic item that summons berserker warriors. You don't need attunement for it, so anybody can blow it. But unfortunately, if you blow it and you are not of a certain type of character, if you don't have certain requirements, then the summoned berserkers attacked you, and that is exactly what happened. Mal's character had a clever idea and lured them away and caused a trap to ensnare some of them. What Mal didn't realise is the trap led to this huge kind of failed vampiric experiment of this sentient blood blob, which started consuming them and came up and threatened the characters as well. They managed to defeat that. They managed to get the loot from the I suppose temple you would call it, and they have now information where they need to go next, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there. Then finally, Call of Cthulhu. Unfortunately, again, we had a schedule clash, so we didn't run Call of Cthulhu. What we did instead is run this, which is Shadow Dark Sci-Fi Junkers, and we actually live streamed this. There was Kyle, there was Matt, there was Ian, and there was Malcolm in it. I'm really impressed with the Shadow Dark system and its versatility and its ability to be able to cause role-playing scenes without kind of getting bogged down in maths and system, and characters know what they can do. It's a very, very fast and fluid system. I had a great fun running it. I think the players did, and we've had some very nice comments on YouTube. So if you are interested, I recommend you definitely check it out. I'll put the link down in the comment section below for you to just find that video. It's grim, dark sci-fi. This was the very first sort of session, almost a starter session of what could become a sort of West Marshes style game where a number of junker crews, these salvagers, space salvagers, have found in effect this large husk, this large almost mothership of this completely alien race, and they've only just scratched the surface of what they might be able to find down there. So please check us out. If you do like it, please give us a subscribe and a like. It really helps the metrics. It also helps us know what content you want and don't want as well. A lot of effort and time does go into making these things happen, and if nobody's interested, we do have fun doing it. That is one plus, but we'd rather have fun doing something that you're going to enjoy as well. So let us know, please let us know. Then with that, we moved to Sunday, and Sunday again was that is the wrong Sunday. It is this Sunday that we had, which was just purely Eberron. Jenny, Jocelyn, Rachel, Tony, and Christian on this one. We do miss you, Becca. As soon as you can return, please do, if you are watching. This was the aftermath. The characters had leveled up. They had spent a very intense and quite long story arc recruiting this character, of which supposedly Jenny's character, Malshana, is about to get married, a whirlwind romance perhaps. And it seems that Jocelyn's character was interested if this NPC had her best interests at heart, and took them for a drink and started asking pointed questions. The NPC kind of refused to answer, but before he could really say much more than that, Jocelyn's character decided to try and cast a spell. Shenanigans happened as the spell should have stuck, but it seems this NPC is quite powerful. Perhaps one might describe him as legendary, and he used a legendary resistance to resist it, paid for the drinks, and walked out. There was a lot of very cool role playing, especially as, I mean, they didn't know whether they had lost all of the hard work that they had strived for over the last number of weeks. But he's still about, and he turned up at a bar that Iron Bar frequents, and everything seems to be okay with him. He invited them to stay with him in Upper Sharn, and they even went out dancing that evening. In the meantime, Jocelyn's character and Rachel's character set to work trying to uncover the secrets, going into the Sharn University Library, being able to persuade the librarian to get access to the restricted area. They uncovered a book of arcane or eldritch science, and it answered many of the questions they were looking for, maybe asking even more, but it very much feels like they now have a target and an aim. A great fun session where many things happened, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next week. So that was my weekend all done. So today is Monday, as I said. Today I'm doing some admin. I've had a big conversation with Matt, a co-writer for kind of what will be Twisted Narratives published works. And we are going to get working very, very rapidly on Junkers. So again, check out that video. We're going to kind of produce it as a sort of one-shot adventure, a grim, dark adventure that can be used fundamentally for any kind of sci-fi sort of setting, but could easily be adapted as a dungeon instead if you preferred that. All we've done with the Shadow Dark rule set is reskinned it. We haven't changed any of the mechanics at the moment because it's so rules light that there is little that needs to be changed. So I've had quite a busy meeting with Matt this morning, kind of hammering that out, and we hope to have that done within a couple of weeks. So there'll be more on that very, very shortly. I've sent out all of the messages to all of the groups I should be running for this week. Hopefully they'll be answering us on Discord. So the only other thing I've got to do is record a number of other videos that will be going live today. There will be a recap video for our Tales from the Smoke Shadow Dark game that that will be a recap sort of what happened last time on. That should be being published to YouTube today. The actual session 2 of that game we will be pre-recording on Wednesday night, so it should be going live either late Wednesday night or early Thursday, and then boom, what else am I doing today? I think that is more or less it. By the time that we've done, I will be having the rest of the day off. But then we move to tomorrow and the games start again. So tomorrow on Twisted Narrative, we will have our vampire game, Vampire the Masquerade. The Kindred, the Coterie, are currently in Chicago, and we have Andrew, Elsa, Rachel, and Christian in that. Very much looking forward to that. At the moment, the game is sold out and full, so no spaces on that, but I am keen to do more Vampire the Masquerade in the future. So if you are interested in the setting, the genre, or the system, message me in Discord, because I'm looking at doing perhaps some later night games for Vampire. Then, as I said, Wednesday is pre-record, so we'll be doing session 2 of Shadow Dark Tales from the Smoke, where we will have our players carrying on with their job. They had made their way through the sewers into Dr. Payne's workshop. They had just confronted some kind of sawbones, and they are trying to desperately find his journal to return to the dough. So we're going to start straight in the action tomorrow as them being in the dark in this workshop. So very much looking forward to that. Who do we have on it? That is a good question. We have Malcolm, we have Kyle, we have Fliss, and we have Brian. They'll all be playing in that. So hopefully we'll have the full return of the cast of that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Wednesday. Then we move to Thursday. Thursday is going to be not the Icebreakers. That is last Thursday. It is going to be Call of the Netherdeep. Another critical role game though. We've got Jack, we've got Joe, we've got Em, we've got James, we've got Michael, and we've got Connor. And in this one, they have just gone to Anchorel, and they have just completed a task for one of the factions of Anchorel, returning a corrupted figurine of power to the university. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go there. They are trying to sort of endear themselves to this faction so they can have access to their libraries, their resources, and potentially an excavation site. So yes, it's a great game, 5th edition, very, very role play orientated. Then we move to Friday's game, which again is Collateral Damage. Hopefully, I mean, we've had a good number of responses already today, but hopefully this one is going to fire this week. They are seeking the figurehead of a spelljammer, and they have tracked it down to some kind of jungle ruins, of which there are a large number of undead in, including this terrifying shadow dragon. Within Collateral Damage, obviously, we have Ben, we have Charlotte, we have Michael, we have Stuart, we have Richard, we have Ryan, and we have V. The battle is not over, and we're going to start this game where we left it, which is in the heat of combat. Then we move to Saturday's games. Saturday is not that Saturday, it is this Saturday. Another busy day, 3 games rather than 4 though. We have Dungeon of the Mad Mage with Josh, Ian, Jocelyn, Pete, and Richard. They are making their way through the level that is Hallister's University at the moment. Don't really want to give many more spoilers out. They encountered a terrible room last time they were there, which caused them quite a lot of hardship and damage. Whether they're going to continue searching this level or descend up or down, we will find out tomorrow morning. Then we move to Greyhawk Unbound, which is John Wayne, Simon, and Elle. Set in Greyhawk, they've reached the free city of Greyhawk. They are working for some of the most powerful mages of the realm at the moment, with a sideline to find out information about an artifact they are trying to assemble themselves. We do indeed have a space in this game. This is a game that is on every other Saturday from 1 till 4. 5th edition D&D. I believe they are 11th level now. I'm very much looking forward to next year when the actual Greyhawk source book comes out to see how close it resembles the original Greyhawk. Because I am a very big fan of the original Greyhawk. So we might find that we've got more Greyhawk games starting up very, very soon, certainly in 2024. Last but not least, tomorrow night we've got Spelljammer, Cosmic Rain. We have Jack, Sky, Cara, Michael, Adam, and Kyle, and they have encountered this terrible sort of machine race that is looking to assimilate them all. They have battled them down in the ruins of their complex, and they're close to putting an end to them. Close. It'll be interesting to see what happens next session. Then last but not least, we move to Sunday. And on Sunday we have two games. We have Mythical, which is the higher level Mythical, levels 5 through to 10. We've got Casper, Natasha, Ian, Jack, Marcus, and Anand. They are making their way through this complex at the moment, trying to uncover an artifact. They did very well last session, managing to solve a number of quite complex puzzles and traps. They have just rested up, so they should be good to go. Mythical is 5th edition, of course, and very, very high fantasy. And then I started talking about it at the start of all this. We come to our weekly Eberron game with Jenny, Jocelyn, Rachel, Tony, and Christian. We're going to very much see what happens with the repercussions of everything that happened last session, last Sunday, which was only yesterday. But they've got a number of specific goals and some information to act upon now. So, as always, who knows what happens when plot interacts with players? Only time will tell. And in a few days' time, we'll be finding out what is going on there. So that is this week at Twisted Narrative. The only real games we have space in is the Greyhawk Unbound game. So send us a message on Discord. You'll find the information down in the chat there. Please check out our jammers, our junkers, Shadow Dark Sci-Fi video. If you are interested in the Tales from the Smoke one, either watch session 1, watch the recap, or come and watch session 2. It is set in the smoke, a setting that's becoming quite familiar with many of our viewers now. We are coming towards the end of April, so just enough time to chat about our April schedule, which is up here. Tales from the Smoke, Shadow Dark, we did that on the 5th, and we've done our Blades in the Dark game, which Christian very kindly ran and I played, and it was amazing fun. Check that on video on demand as well. We've done a number of game overs. I'm going to continue sort of playing Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment for the game overs. I quite often end on a TPK because I'm not playing this carefully. I'm seeking out places that perhaps I shouldn't go at the level that I am. The spoilers in last night's game, came across some gnolls. It did not go well for me. And I'm also sort of tinkering with different character builds as well. I'm having great fun. I think it is an amazingly good experience. I think if you played it a little more carefully, a little bit more tactically, you would do substantially finer than me. But I'm enjoying running into the madness of it, really. We're doing that all this month in April. We'll probably continue into May. We'll probably, to be perfectly honest, do it all the way to the main release, and then on the main release With the information that we have, we'll probably do a proper playthrough. Then on the 19th, which is this coming Wednesday, we've obviously got Tales from the Smoke, the Shadow Dark one, and I'm very excited. On the 25th, Tuesday 25th, which is a week tomorrow, we will be running our Tales from the Smoke Feng Shui. This is using the setting of the smoke once again, but it is in not a completely different feel to it. It will have all of the guilds and the corporations and everything else that people are becoming familiar with, but it'll be in a slightly more modern environment. And as I've described it a number of times, especially for the mechanics and the setting of Feng Shui, this is going to have, if you imagine the gothic Gotham City from the Batman movies, kind of all of them merged together, not one in particular. Although I do like I think it was a Tim Burton one from the one with the penguin, and I think when it was snowing and the zoo and all of that kind of imagery was very, very cool. But also crossed with John Wick. Ever since I saw the first John Wick with the sort of groups of assassins, the Continental Hotel and everything else, it's always had that feel of the smoke to me, with all of the guilds and everything else that goes on behind it. So if you're fans of those two movies, imagine those blended together for the setting of the smoke. And then Feng Shui is well, it is Big Trouble in Little China crossed with Hong Kong action movies. Very cinematic, very action orientated. I'm very excited for this one. It'll be one to watch out for. So we've got those going on in April as well. I've got a few other ideas that I am throwing around at the moment. I'm looking, I've mentioned this a few times now, to run some sessions later on in the evening. I'm talking maybe going to sort of 2 o'clock in the morning. So if there are any people on shifts or people that are night owls and you kind of fancy an 11 till 2 game, that is 11 o'clock in the evening through to 2 o'clock in the morning, let me know in Discord. This is because I want to reach out to kind of our friends across the pond, the American audience, and kind of run things that are a little easier for them to come to. If we get a demand for that time zone, we might even move the time even later, so we can not just have the East Coast but West Coast playing as well. So I will be doing some announcements about that in our Discord channel as well. So I think the final thoughts of this is, if you want immediate updates and knowing what's going on, please join our Discord. The link is in the comment section below. Wow, it's feeling strange because I do feel like I am talking to you all, even though I am not. But I want to thank you very, very much for watching this, obviously, tonight on Catch Up. I will be live tomorrow, and I should be live with Christian. So we will probably be talking about any questions that have been thrown out to us to answer or discuss in Discord. So I'll say this here now: if you're watching, join our Discord, find the 6 o'clock club channel and ask some questions, and we will attempt to answer them. Thank you very much for watching. I suppose without that, have a great rest of the evening, and I will see you all live tomorrow. Bye for now.